He does not do anything that really stands out as an athlete, and that's really was the big, kind of like the big that we saw while watching film. We're not saying that he's bad at all, but we're saying there wasn't one thing that he did or one area where you can point your finger on and say, hey, this guy is a standout guy. He's great. He's the best in this area right here.
Every Batman needs their Robin, and every Jordan needs their Pippen. If you're a team that already has a clear-cut number one receiver, then you should be looking to add Troy Franklin in the 2024 NFL Draft. Before we get too deep into this draft profile of the speedy Oregon wide receiver Troy Franklin, head down to the comment section and tell us what round you think Franklin will go in.
Yeah, and just to give you guys a little bit of history and background on Troy, Troy played his high school football at Menlo Atherton High School. I said it right, I think. Atherton, California is where he played. He was a four-star receiver. He chose Oregon over ASU, Washington, and Bama. Franklin was an immediate impact for Oregon, where he played in all 14 games his freshman year, where he put up 18 catches for just over 200 yards. Then he had a breakout season in his sophomore season where he went for just under 900 yards and had 9 touchdowns on that season. He really flourished with Bo Nix at quarterback there, and he quickly became Oregon's number one receiver. He followed up that performance by having a record-breaking junior season. He set benchmarks for most receiving yards in a season with almost 1,400, and he paired that with 14 touchdowns.
Perfect, B. All right, so let's get into the pros of him. So he is 6'3", and does he look every bit of it? The dude is tall and lengthy. He has great burst and acceleration. He is able to bring that suddenness to his releases and getting in and out of breaks. He is also great at being man coverage, using his burst and speed to often create separation from defenders. He is okay with contested catches. He struggled in the first half against Washington in the Pac-12 championship game like this.
Play clock winding down. Nix has protection over the middle, incomplete, try to get it into the...
But in the second half, he did a better job of putting his body between the ball and the defender and coming up with some clutch catches.
Giving Penix great field position. Four-man rush, ball out, caught by Franklin, who runs a great route.
But he does not do it consistently. I know this may not be important to most fans, but it is important to coaches. He is a willing blocker. He isn't going to drive people in like Gatorade bottles, but he also isn't afraid to step in front of a defender. He is also capable of playing in the slot too. He has the quickness for it, but he's primarily an outside receiver.
And like, this wouldn't be a draft, breakdown profile if we didn't talk about the cons. I like Troy as a prospect. There is some cons there, so let's go ahead. Let's talk about those too. So during our film study, so far he seems like a guy with a restricted release package. He really relies on two different types of release. One, there's a split release, and two, there's one where he kind of lulls the corner to sleep, kind of like this.
Muhammad and Elijah Jackson, you got to have other corners that can step up there. Boy, he might have gotten
while he uses both well, they can cause him to be predictable. And the corners aren't supposed to really guess where receiver goes, but so sometimes the corner can if he kind of knows what your move off the line is. And that did show up a couple times on tape. So something that he has to improve on in the league. He also struggles with drops sometimes. He does have a 10% drop rate according to PFF. He does not do anything that really stands out as an athlete, and that's really was the big kind of like the big that we saw while watching film. We're not saying that he's bad at all, but we're saying there wasn't one thing that he did or one area where you can point your finger on and say, hey, this guy is a standout guy. He's great. He's the best in this area right here. He's good, but he isn't really great in any one aspect of his game. And for that reason, we don't think that he'd be a true number one receiver right now. He could be, but I think right now he's probably a solid 2 for a team. And to your point about Batman and Robin, he could be a high-end Robin for a team that drafts him.
Yeah, exactly. So for our player comp and draft grade, We would say his best comp is a lighter T. Higgins. I believe T. Higgins is 6'4", 220-ish, and Troy comes in at 6'3", but only 187, I believe it is. Mm-hmm. They're both really good number 2 receivers that have the potential to moonlight as number 1s if needed. And we actually gave him about a mid-second round pick as grade, which I think is actually similar where T. Higgins went in his draft. So
yeah, I think so too. But guys, tell us what you all think. Does he have the potential to be that number 1 receiver for him? Are we wrong? Tell us. And again, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It means more than you guys think. We definitely love y'all for that, for tuning into our show and stuff like that. So please like this video, subscribe to the channel, share this with your friends, whatever. We greatly appreciate it. And again, until next time, it's been the RFL Show.